last year, I just went through some series of weird life-altering events. I had an experience where I was almost chased down by angry prostitutes. I had just had absinthe and I got stressed out. I had to run back to my hotel and sat down. And I just wrote the song, and then I started writing a bunch of songs in the vein. And I realized that I had a new batch of songs, a new style of songs for what I was going for. I decided I was going to try to start writing songs in a different way. And that in fact I wanted to try to break all habits that I had so that I wouldn't just live automatically and react to situations automatically, that I wanted to react to every situation in a real way that was new and pure every time, which is pretty much an unobtainable goal, but at the time it was what I wanted to try to do. I would joke to all my friends that I was trying to free my mind. So one night I decided I was going to stop writing songs with guitar chords, that my songs were too poppy and too much in the vein of traditional pop songs, and that I wanted to try to write songs that were more heavily dependent on the lyrics and on the vocal melody, and not so strongly dependent on the chord progression and the arrangement, because that's the way I've always written. I've always written as soon as I write a song, I can hear all the instrumentation and the beat and the feel of the song, and there'll be harmonies, and I'll hear horn parts. And with these songs, I tried to not do that. When I would start hearing stuff in my head, I would just make it shut up. Because I wanted to write songs that were just about the song, about the singer and the song. That look on your face, I read misinformation, you need a little space. I decided the way to do that was, of course I'm still going to be doing regular chord progressions, but I'm not thinking in terms of the chord structures and the way they're laid out on the fretboard anymore. I'm thinking in terms of this linear thing, movement up and down a couple of strings. It was something I've always done a little bit. I've always written some songs like that, and I decided that I was going to just write songs like that because it's a different mode of singing and of songwriting, and it'd make me write different melodies. That was both, it's kind of lonelier and more direct, it's simpler and sparser, and maybe more serious than Apple's songs. My idea was Velvet Underground crossed with My Bloody Valentine or something like that. Let's see, I had just moved to Lexington, Kentucky, and when I was back in Lexington, various things had happened in my life. My marriage had broken down, I was trying to do things really differently and not operate on, automatic, not operate by habit. And I had a couple of friends that I asked to record with me. We were going to record Marble songs, but as soon as we got together, I was I could never really do what I'm supposed to do. So I was like, hey, before we work on these Marble songs, I've got this couple of songs that I'm working on that are kind of different. Could you guys try to play? And John was playing drums. He was going to play guitar on my Marble stuff. But to teach him the songs, my idea was, instead of just showing you the chords and stuff, he plays all the instruments. So I thought, you just hit the drums, that way we'll knock out the structure and stuff. You can get an idea of how the songs are going to go. And Ben Fulton, my friend, who played in John's band Big Fresh, I had seen their band play and really liked them. I had Ben sitting in. I was going to have him play keyboards and guitars and stuff, but for this practice I had him playing synthesizer just with one finger, or maybe two fingers at most, and doing drony kind of stuff, just as the same sort of thing, he would become familiar with the songs without really having to learn them. And I thought if we played through them, well, as we played a couple of these new songs, it just sounded like a new style and a new band, and I really liked it. Anyway, it was really exciting to me, and so we had a new band all of a sudden. Well, okay, as far as recording goes, Ulysses, we recorded the band live with one microphone. At the same time, all the instruments just going through one microphone to the computer. Then overdubbed vocal parts and mixed that stuff. We never really EQ'd it. It was pretty raw. With Ulysses, I just wanted to be the lead singer in the band. I just wanted to sing and write songs that had to do with singing and not really involve everything else. And so what we did was we recorded a set of, they were going to be demos. And then we were going to go record the songs in a studio, but we wanted to have demos because after just a couple of months we really were sounding good. We recorded with a Neumann U87 and a tube mic pre and a Uri LA3A compressor, all old equipment and good high-end equipment. But we just used one microphone in omnidirectional mode and put it in the middle of the room, and we set up in a triangle. There were only 3 people in the band then, now there's 4. We set up in a triangle, and I listened with the headphones. I got the balance right. We moved the mic around, we moved our instruments back and forth, our amps and stuff. Changed EQ on the amps and stuff, but that was the only EQing that was done on it, was actually in the room. I engineered it and produced it before we actually recorded. took us about an hour to set up and about 3 hours to record all the songs. I recorded all the lead vocals in a couple hours. I did them all in the first take. Same microphone setup in the garage and stuff, because I wanted it to be as if I were doing it live. John Ferguson came in about 2 hours and did all the harmonies on the record. And I did a few of the harmonies myself while I was doing the lead vocals, but he did most of them. That was our demo. After a while, after a few months, I started thinking, well, let's put some of the demo out as an EP, because I really like it. It sounds like our band. There's some things in there, in the singing takes, the first takes, in the instruments, that there's no way we could reproduce, and I came to love them. So we just kind of decided as a band that we should just put the demo out as our album. In the meantime, Robert Beatty from the Hair Police had joined our band doing sound effects. He just does like electronic noises, sound effects. He has like a spring reverb, like an actual spring that he pulled out of an amp and plugs into a little mixer and like drums and makes feedback. And he does play synthesizer on some songs. What he does is he plays a one-note drone and then manipulates it with delays and ring modulators and all sorts of shit. He's really amazing at that. I had him come in about an hour or so we recorded his synthesizer parts that he does live. We recorded him through an amp with the same microphone. And he did all the sound effects on all the songs and stuff. And that was the only overdub that happened on the record besides vocals. The Ulysses songs in general they're like that. They're more strange, maybe more surreal, but in a meaningful kind of way. Like, you know, like sometimes when you're asleep and you dream, and you wake up and you don't quite remember what the dream was about, but you remember a feeling that you have. And that's what the Ulysses songs are like. They're like a dream that you can't quite remember, but the feeling is very precise. And so what I tend to do is, for these types of songs, I would write lyrics for the verses that are very evocative and not necessarily very concrete. And then for the choruses, write lyrics that are overly simple and concrete and direct, so that there's this contrast, you know, it's like the song, you're giving the feeling of the song, and then you're like, this is what it's about. Yep, and so that's our album, that's 010. I'm really happy with the record. It's in mono, it's live, it's like, it sounds good, I think.
She floats like a sunken island, like a drunken eyelid. She looks on me. She sinks like a broken arrow, like a frozen sparrow. She falls asleep.